I don't know if I should celebrate or cry, but the new school year is almost here. Today, I'm excited to share with you my homeschool curriculum choices for this year. We're going to be discussing the following curriculums, which all can apply to a 5th grade level. Singapore Dimensions Math, Handwriting Without Tears Cursive, All About Spelling, Wordly Wise, IEW Structure and Style, Fixit Grammar, and History Quest Early Times. Look, y'all, this is going to be an in-depth video today. Some parts may apply to you and some not. I value your time. If there's something in particular that you're looking for and you don't want to see all the other stuff, please go to the description box below. I have created timestamps to take you directly to all of the subjects and their curriculums. Now, of course, you are welcome to stay for the full party. So then grab a seat, grab a cup of coffee, or like me, pop in your headphone and listen as you make some dinner. First, I am going to give you an understanding of my homeschooling approach and how I plan our lessons. Then we'll jump into each of the subjects and the curriculums that I use. Again, if there's something in particular you want, go down to those timestamps in the description box below. First, what is my homeschooling approach and why did I choose it? We are a secular, eclectic homeschool family, and I considered it a relaxed, go with the flow style learning environment. A majority of the subjects we study together, and I do not keep to any standard or strict grade level standards in lesson planning and completion. So for us, my daughter is 8 and would be classified as a 3rd grader, but based on how she's progressed over the years, she's studying at a 5th grade level. That's the beauty of homeschool. My son, who's turning 11 and will be considered a 5th grade level, he right now is more on an early mid 4th grade level. And that is exactly why I love this homeschooling journey, because it's paced at their speed and readiness. How do I balance structured learning with flexibility and adaptability? Well, I focus on mastery and a really deep understanding of topics, specifically in math. I don't make weekly lesson plans detailing what lessons have to be covered. It just doesn't work for us. I've tried it over all these years. It just doesn't. So I move at my child's speed to eliminate the pressure on them and on myself. So with math, for example, if they don't understand, I linger on that topic until there is complete understanding, then we move on. To keep our day organized, I use block scheduling, which I'm still working on the schedule, but I will show it to you right now, just in the clip. But this is our schedule of how we just block out our day. As you see, right now we're scheduled for about 5 days a week of schooling and around 2.5 hours per day of lessons. Okay, what subjects will we cover this year in our homeschool? This year, we're going to focus on math, writing, grammar, vocabulary, ancient history, science, cursive handwriting, and social emotional development. Now, the core subjects that take priority for me are math, reading, and writing. This means daily practice. All the other subjects are treated like electives. So like art, science, the other ones are just sprinkled in on a weekly and sometimes, depending on the subject, on a monthly basis. Now, you're probably saying, how did you research and select the curriculums for the subjects? Now, after about almost 10 years of researching on YouTube, I feel like I've found a really good fit for our learning style. This year, History Quest is the only new curriculum. IEW, we're going into our 2nd year. All the other curriculums, we've been using it for years. I figure, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. On the other hand, as the children's learning styles and interests change, I definitely want to keep my eyes open for other programs. So if you know any good ones, please leave a comment below for me. Are there any specific goals or learning outcomes I want to achieve this year? Well, I am transitioning into being a working homeschool mom, so it's critical that my kids learn to work independently. My general goal for my 10 and 8-year-old, because I also have a 3-year-old, is developing more autonomy and independence. Now, in regards to subjects, my major focus is going to be on spelling and writing, because that's an area where we need improvement. Also, I would like to find more ways to move towards more child-directed subjects in which they start doing research based on their interest. How do I incorporate hands-on learning or real-life experiences into the curriculums? Well, Singapore Math is one of my favorite curriculums because it actually uses a lot of real-life scenarios and develops really strong mental math abilities. With science, that is full on hands-on, because we use only subscription boxes for that. And I love it because I love to see how they really learn to use the scientific method. It develops good critical thinking skills and their problem solving, as well as a good growth mindset. Now, with history this year, it's going to be an interesting journey, because for me, it's not so much that they memorize facts, but just really have an understanding of where human civilization started from. So luckily, one of our local museums has some exhibits that we will be able to go out and check those out during the school year. Do we plan on including extracurricular activities or co-op programs in our homeschooling life? Well, we're a bit of renegades when it comes to homeschooling co-ops. There aren't any local, like really close homeschool groups, so we abandoned that and we focus on extracurricular activities. So at the end of the video, I will give you an idea of some of the activities that the kids will be participating in this year. How do I track progress and evaluate my children's learning throughout the year? Currently, I do not test on subjects. I just don't like testing, and luckily our state does not require standardized testing. By moving along at my kids' pace, I find it easy to quickly assess their comprehension and determine the areas that need more concentration. All right, let's jump into these curriculums. Social emotional development. This is something that we do as our morning breakfast work. I place an importance of valuing yourself and others and the community around us, and I do my best to incorporate mindfulness and a growth mindset approach into our lessons. And right now we've been dealing with a lot of brother-sister rivalry, and it's important for them to learn you don't need to like each other, but you need to learn how to communicate effectively and argue respectfully. You know, we live in a small 2-bedroom apartment and we spend a lot of time together, so I've realized now it's really important for them to learn how to create boundaries and respect each other's space. We don't use a set curriculum. I just found 2 great books on Amazon. One is called Mindfulness Workbook for Kids, and the other one, Anger Management Workbook for Kids. And what we do is just on a weekly basis, we'll read through together a couple of pages of one of these books. Now, the other thing that we do is I bought these great little affirmation cards. One was like a positive affirmation box set, and the other one was for growth mindset. Generally, I try to have them on a daily basis do this. So we'll pull out a card and it just starts an open discussion. So as you see here, and here's another one, and on the back there's some questions. So let's give you an example. Here, this one says, I am curious. I love opportunities to explore and solve problems. And then on the back of the card, it gives like 3 or 4 questions. Like this one, when did I last explore a new interest or hobby? What was the outcome and how did it make me feel? What I love about this is it's a positive way of starting the morning and just really thinking about the ways that we can grow as individuals and keep a positive sort of I can do it, I can try mentality. For math this year, we are going to be using Singapore Dimensions. I have been using Singapore since kindergarten level. So from the very beginning, I've loved this program and it's worked for us. Now I have to be honest, I also used to combine it as well and sort of still do sprinkle in some math UC, but Singapore Dimensions is our core math curriculum. Since I go along with my children's pace, right now as we start off the school year, we're going to be finishing with 4B. Okay, so I always buy the textbook, the workbook, and the teacher's guides. All right, I prefer the teacher's guide over the home instructor's guide that they recently put out one. This one's way easier to follow. So we'll start off with the 4B, and then probably by late fall, early winter, we will transition into the 5A text. Again, I get the workbook, the textbook, and the teacher's guide. Let's talk about the pros and cons of Singapore math. What I like about Singapore math is that it focuses on a deep understanding of math concepts. It uses a progressive approach, and it builds upon their previous knowledge to really help enhance their critical thinking skills. And the curriculum provides plenty of practice and real life problem solving scenarios. Some of the cons is that I've spoken to some other parents and they don't like the sort of bar model method that they use. Also, the workload might be heavy for students who struggle with math concepts. So for someone like my son, he finds all the worksheets just absolutely annoying. Now my daughter, she loves the opportunity for all the different practice. So what I do is I sort of adapt for each one how many problems that I have them do. Also, I don't always have my kids do it on the actual worksheet. We will do work also on a dry erase board to make it more interactive for them. Next up is handwriting, which for us, there is a focus for both of my children on cursive writing right now. And now, depending on your child, there are 2 books from Handwriting Without Tears that they could be using for cursive. And I will show you both of them. For my daughter, who is 8, she's going to be using the Cursive Success, this one here, okay? Along with, I still buy the Building Writers, and it comes as a packet with the writing journal. So the Cursive Success is sort of their intro to cursive writing. The second book, which is my son, because he's had more experience now with cursive writing, he is going to be doing the Can Do Cursive. So this is the point at which they know all of their cursive letters, and they need to now work on more of the memorization of the letters themselves and the formation. So these are the 2 programs. I have loved Handwriting Without Tears from the beginning. I just like sort of the systematic approach that they have to writing. I also like that 2-line system that they use, because for me, it appears that it works better for transitioning them to regular line paper. My son's writing, his cursive, it is beautiful. I'm absolutely amazed at the progress he has made with using this program. And I have to say, even my daughter, who we tease, but she has like this chicken scratch. I swear she's going to become a doctor one day. And I'm sorry to any doctors out there, but her writing's like chicken scratch. But even over the summer, we got her another Handwriting Without Tears workbook and had her working on it throughout the summer. And you could see the progress so quickly as she really focused and worked on her letters. So she's super excited about doing her cursive, and my son, yes, he will be mastering it at this point. But these are the 2 programs that we use, which would both be suitable for a 5th grade level, depending on where your child is starting off at. If you are liking what you see so far, please make sure you ding that like button and subscribe to this channel. But we're now gonna jump into more curriculums. Okay, for spelling, we are going to be using All About Spelling. I've also been using this program for years, and we have found a way of working it into our learning style. For us, at this point, I actually only buy the teacher's manual, because what I do, and I'll show you here, we are in between level 5 and level 6. So my son is at the level 5 and my daughter's at the level 6. What I do is I buy the teacher's manual and I just buy them a composition book. I open up the teacher's manual, I dictate the words they need to do, and I dictate the sentences, and that's how we go through the All About Spelling. Now let's talk about the benefits, the pros and cons of the All About Spelling program. All About Spelling focuses on phonograms and rules to help students understand spelling patterns. Now, the curriculum definitely uses a mastery-based approach, which I love, and it allows my kids to progress at their own pace. It includes various activities and games, which really help to make the spelling practice more interactive and fun. The con is that for some students, the repetition of the curriculum may become a little bit monotonous. I do notice that with my kids, that at a certain point, they're a little bit like, I'm bored with this now. So what we do is honestly, we take a little pause, usually for a couple of weeks, and then we come back to the All About Spelling program. While it covers spelling extensively, it does not address other language arts components. With language arts, the program that we use is the IEW Fixit Grammar. Now here is the Fixit Grammar. Right now we are finishing off level 1 of Nose Tree, and then we are going to be going into level 2, Town Mouse and Country Mouse. So what I buy is the teacher's manual and the student book. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the Fixit Grammar program. What I like about this program is I think it's suitable for all learning levels. And what it does is it teaches grammar through context. So the kids have to take a classical literature passage and correct it. It encourages independent learning and it fosters their analytical skills. The con is that with correcting errors in passages, some kids may find this repetitive. At least mine do sometimes. And it does not cover grammar really in depth. For me right now, it's more important that the kids have a more practical, contextual understanding of grammar. So this is why this program works for us. For vocabulary this year, we continue with Wordly Wise. We will be in book 5, which I believe is equivalent to a 5th grade level. And quite honestly, I cannot think of any cons with this program. I can only think of the benefits, so let's talk about that. What I like with Wordly Wise is it provides a wide range of vocabulary that has really helped to expand my kids' vocabulary. And it's nice because the exercises encourage critical thinking and allows them to apply the new words. The extra bonus too is that with each lesson, it provides a reading passage, and I use that passage for reading comprehension and also working on some of their writing skills. Writing has been one of the toughest subjects in our house. Back in the day, I didn't use a curriculum at all, and I would try to use sentence prompts to get the kids to write about things, and it just wasn't working. They weren't having it. They were completely lost in where to start. And that's where IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing, came to the rescue. Right now, we use the Structure and Style 1A. So this is the teacher's manual, and this is the student booklet. This program, I just have found it phenomenal. Let's talk about the benefits. Structure and Style focuses on teaching writing through structural models and stylistic techniques. So I've seen it help my kids develop stronger writing skills and confidence in expressing their thoughts, because that was the issue we had before. Also, what's beneficial is there's video instruction that goes along that's very easy for you and your kids to follow. There's 2 cons to this program. First of all, the program is very time consuming. But like all curriculums, we have found a way to make this program work for us, so we don't follow their lesson plan schedule. Also, the structured approach can be limiting to some people in their creative writing style. For us personally, this structured approach actually is what has improved my children's writing. So I have nothing but good things to say about IEW, and I look forward to continuing this one in this school year, and this is going to be a big focus for us. Last but certainly not least is history. This year we are starting a whole new program, and it is called History Quest. We are going to be doing History Quest Early Times, which I will leave a link to the History Quest flip through video that I recently did. But this is the narrative book. It comes with a study guide. And then lastly, you have to buy, this as a supplemental, but this is the Osborne Encyclopedia of World History. Let's talk about the benefits of the History Quest program, because I am super geeked about this program this year. History Quest offers an engaging and narrative-based approach to history. And what I like is it incorporates not only the story, but hands-on activities and online resources that really make history come alive. And the curriculum encourages critical thinking and historical analysis. The con is that for some parents, they may prefer a more traditional text-based history curriculum. But quite honestly, this narrative-based and online exploration really works for us. And also, if you see my video about the History Quest, this Osborne Encyclopedia, it is so colorfully illustrated, it brings so many of the events to life. Okay, let's jump into science. For science, we go completely hands-on. In our house, we have 3 subscription programs, yes, 3, that we use. We have the Mel Science, which I get their chemistry and their physics. We also have Kiwi Company, which I get the Tinker Crate for my daughter who's 8, and for my son, the Eureka, because the Eureka is a little more engineering based. And last but not least, we started this summer because I have a secret crush, I think, on Mark Rober. It is the Crunchlabs. So this is the newest kid on the block for us. But with all of these programs, what I like, let's talk about Crunchlabs. Crunchlabs, it also has sort of a video that Mark puts together for each of the concepts that goes through the sort of scientific process with the kids. Kiwi Company is great because with theirs, they have a fantastic sort of like magazine and instruction book that not only tells them how to put together projects, but it extends their learning and understanding sort of the concept that they're learning. And with the Mel Science, they have an app that goes along with the program. To be honest, 3 science kits is a lot, but I'm a science nerd and I love it a lot, and my kids are very hands-on and love this type of stuff. But if I was to choose one out of all of these 3, oh, that's tough. I have to say I would go with the Kiwi. Only because the magazine, as it builds about the concepts, it sort of allows you to sort of open it up and go with it. So for right now, only because I've been with Kiwi for so long, I would go with the Kiwi Company. Ask me again in a year and I may change my mind and say Crunchlabs, but Crunchlabs is a new one, so I'm still sniffing this one out. So let's see what you can do for us, Mark Rober. I find it very important for my kids to know not only what's going on nationally, but also what's going on in the world around them. So the subscription that we have that I have enjoyed using is called The Week Junior. This magazine has been great. What I originally had started off doing is looking at it online and like reading it out loud and us reading it together, but they would start grumbling about it. So what worked? I finally just jumped in and bought a subscription. We get a magazine weekly. I throw that baby on the table, and what I like is they like to pick it up while they're just sitting and lounging, and they read about what's going on in the world. So this has helped. I will notice like a week later, they'll tell me about certain news that's going on. This year, I'm gonna get back to not only having them read it on their own, but we'll use some time to read some of it out loud and use this as discussion topics and building on sort of reading comprehension. The other magazine that I'm gonna add to our curriculum, if you wanna call it curriculum, but to our worldly news, is I'm gonna give Time for Kids a try as well. If you guys know of any other good magazines to subscribe to, let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to find out, because the kids love picking up different magazines and books and reading them. You're probably saying, that looks like a lot of stuff. I promise you, in the end, it all works out because I focus on the core subjects first. So that's what happens on a daily basis: the reading, the writing, and the math. And then everything else sort of gets sprinkled in on a weekly or monthly basis. What I will do is at some point when I get my ish together, I will try and put together a video on how I do my sort of reverse planning, block scheduling, lesson planning, so I can give you more of a visual of how we keep this hot mess somewhat organized. Our days are pretty full. After we finish our homeschooling days, our afternoons are full with our extracurriculars, which are the heart and soul of socialization for us. So we do sports, which includes soccer, baseball, and swim. This year, my son is excited because I found an engineering and design class at a local maker studio that he's going to be trying out. My daughter is getting involved with the Girl Scouts for the first time. And also I found a graphic design fashion class for her at our local public school. We will be keeping very busy this year. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. I hope this detailed review of my curriculum choices for this year is helpful. Remember, every student's learning style and needs are unique, so feel free to tailor your choices to what fits your family best. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.